Hello everyone and welcome back to Georgia Paper Crafts. I have been missing in action for at least 3+ months. Lots going on, as everybody else has had a lot going on, but anyway, it's kept me from posting a lot of videos. I do have a lot still that I filmed but haven't put up yet. I do hope to get those up, but let's start with the January 2021 card kit of the month. This is called Snowflake Season. Now, I just got this the other day, and we're in mid-January. I'm already, past the 15th here, so this will probably go up a little bit late, but I think the mail has been very slow lately. I'm sure it has for many of you also. So hopefully you'll still be able to use this into February. Just because it's the January kit doesn't mean it can't be used whenever. So let's just go through real quick what we get in the kit, and then we'll get to making cards. I'm only going to make 5 this time, just so I can, get this video up, and hopefully that will give you some inspiration. So starting out, we get one of the Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue bottles. I can always use this. I love this stuff. We get one of the Simon Says Stamp Unicorn Confetti Chunky Glitter. We get Simon Says Stamp. This is a 3D, one of their new 3D embossing folders. This is Filigree Snowflakes. We get one stamp set. This is a 6x8 stamp set, and it's called Snowflake Season. This does have a coordinating die set that can be bought separately. I don't have it, so I'll just be using either cutting them out myself or just stamping. Lots of pretty snowflakes in here. Then we've got one Simon Says Stamp Eliza Snowflake die. Looks like we've got 4 envelopes. We've got one in white, one in dull pink, one in metallic sea glass, and then one of the holographic. I am not sure if I would use this to send it out. It's pretty though. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll probably keep it in my stash. I have so many in my stash. I usually use white ones, but that sure is pretty. We then get some cardstock, and we've got, let's see, this is holographic copper design cardstock. We've got one piece of the sea glass, one piece of the dull pink, and I believe this is a lavender. Yeah, lavender. So 4 pieces of cardstock. And then this is what I really like, the Whimsy Stamped 6x6 designer paper pad. This is Blurry Flurries. Lots of pretty images here. You get 12 double-sided sheets, and they're just so pretty. Lots of different muted kind of colors. Very pretty. All right. Well, I see a lot I can use to make some cards, so I will go ahead and get started, and hang tight, and we'll make 5 cards. Okay, so starting out with card number 1, I went ahead and did a couple of things, pre-cut things and stuff. Went ahead and I have my own pre-made white card base here. I've made some just from my stash of heavyweight cardstock. I cut a piece of the green paper, or this is sea glass paper, excuse me, down to, I think it's 4 1/4 by, no, 4 and just under that, just a 1/2 inch under that, just to help frame this up, but still have a little bit of a white border. Then I took a piece of one of the papers, and I used the embossing folder on this. I ran it through my Big Shot off screen, and look at that. Look how it embossed. Isn't that gorgeous? I will say though, it does kind of, I don't know how to say, kind of roll up the paper a little bit. So what I did was I cut down 2 pieces of white paper cardstock just to put on to give it a little bit more stableness. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together here, and then I'll glue them together on to the embossed piece here. And then we'll add that onto the other one. Now, a lot of the cards I'm going to make today are, like I say, fairly simple. I don't make a lot of winter cards. I don't live in an area with a lot of snow. We don't get a lot of snow here in Georgia. It's rare. And if we do, well, stay off the highway because nobody knows how to drive. Ooh, look, see, that tore a little bit. My goodness. Okay, let's see if I can get that to go down a little bit. But anyway, I don't make a lot of winter cards just because it's just not something I send out. However, I love snowflakes. I love the colors involved. So most of mine will just be kind of general cards, like this one that says "Hello, friend." I'll just make it so that it can be sent out at any time. So now that I've added those pieces of cardstock to the back, I'm going to go ahead and add this onto my layering piece here and do my best to get it straight. I do like to use liquid adhesive. It just gives me a few more minutes of wiggle room before I get it stuck down. Now, my cards, pre-made cards, are 4.5 by 5 and no, it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to add that on there. Here we go. Now, I had already stamped and cut out the sentiment here. So the sentiment is the Hello Friend sentiment. And I used some Hero Arts ombre ink. This is the gradation ink pad, and what color is this? Oh, pool to navy, okay? And then I cut it out. As you can see, it has a little bit of a dotted edge there. I used one of my infinity circle dies to cut that out, and that cut that off, which is fine. So I'm going to just add that right in the middle there. I'm going to use some foam adhesive to pop that up. Now, I also like to, when I put foam adhesive on, I also like to put a little bit of glue on there just to help stick it down. I mean, foam adhesive sticks pretty well anyway, but I just like to do that. The one thing that would have been nice that came in this kit would have been maybe some jewels. It would have been nice to have a little rhinestones or something. That's just my preference. I love adding rhinestones, and I'm going to add some on here. Give it a little bit of extra bling. And put that right in the middle there. It says Hello Friend. So here I decided to add a little bling in the form of a sequin. Just a flat blue, light blue sequin here, and then a little water droplet, clear water droplet here. And I just put that on top, and I've already put some other ones there. I didn't want to make you sit through me doing that, so I went ahead and put those on. And so I'm going to I think I want to add a little bit of my shimmer pen here to this, to my sentiment, and I think then that'll be finished. There we go. Okay, and that's it for card number 1. I think that turned out pretty nice, very easy to do. I love the embossing, how it sits up. You could replicate this quite a few times, you know, very easy to do. So, nice card. Okay, so moving on to card number 2 here. Similar design. Again, cut down a back piece using the lavender cardstock, a piece of the paper pad, pattern paper, I guess I should say. I cut that down. I'm going to mat it on there. Try and get it as straight as possible. I'm doing a lot of eyeballing, and of course my eyeball is not always that great, but kind of go with it. Go ahead and adhere this to the card base. I do like to use my art glitter glue. I will open the Simon Says stamp glue here probably once this runs out. I use a variety of different ones. They all seem to work pretty well for me. All right, now once I get that on there, now I had already cut this out. This is the Eliza Snowflake that came in the card kit, the die that came in the card kit, and I cut it out of Tim Holtz metallic cardstock. So this is metallic purple cardstock. And I'm just gonna dab some glue on here. This is kind of a pain in the behind, but dab some glue on, and then I'm gonna stick it down. Probably could have maybe before cutting it out put some double-sided adhesive on the cardstock just so I wouldn't have to do this, but you know, it is what it is. You could always run it through a Xyron sticker maker too. Sometimes I think it's more trouble than worth to do that though. Okay, so this little star right in the middle, I'm just gonna lay it right down there. And I am going to put a little heavy acrylic block on that just to help flatten it out. Okay, so I cut out another one of these Hello Friend sentiments using the same way that I did in the first card, and this time I used the Hero Arts ombre ink. This is Lilac Grape. And I'm going to, I had already put some foam adhesive on the back there. And I'm going to stick that right in the middle there. Okay. Now it's time to add a little bit of bling. Okay, so what I decided to do with this one is take the clear baubles this time and just add them right there onto the snowflake, just to give it a little bit of extra bling. Now obviously because it is clear, you can see the white glue right now, but that will dry clear. So, and I'm going to do a little bit of my aqua shimmer pen again, my tonic aqua shimmer pen on here onto the sentiment, and then that's going to be it for this one. Again, another nice and simple one that can be replicated several times using different cardstocks or pieces of pattern paper and you know, cutting it out. So that's it. All right, so that's it for card number 2. Okay, for card number 3, I decided to cut down some of the pattern paper here. This is the paper that has what I seem to think like a snowbank with some snow flurries in the night. And what I wanted to do is just put some more snowflakes on there. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp some of the larger snowflakes here using Lawn Fawn Hippo ink. This is one I'm hoping is going to look good. You're going to see because we're going to do it here on camera. And hopefully it'll look good. Let's see. I kind of thought maybe a gray would, you know, not overpower, but still kind of be able to see it. So I am using one of those, I guess, eraser board things just to help push it down and get a smooth impression. And I think that looks pretty nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some of the smaller ones, and I'm going to try to overlap some of them here just to try to get a more diverse look. Let's see. Yikes, sticking to my finger there. Them up, and again, just try to roughen up the, since I haven't used these stamps before, just roughening up the surface till I could get a better image. And now I'm going to use this Delicata white shimmer ink. This is a pigment ink, and I just kind of wanted to get, you know, a little bit of shimmer on here, so I'm going to see how this works. Again, this tip of using this came from Jennifer McGuire. I'm sure a lot of you have seen her use this, and so I picked one up, of course. You know, if Jennifer does it, we all have to do it, and it seems to work really well. I like to use it a lot better than my hand. Now that you don't see that very well, can you? Do you think you can see that? I can't see it very well. Very faint. I'm going to try and restamp it again, maybe get a little bit better image here. See if I can get better coverage. Might have been better if I used a silver. And if this doesn't show up, I might get my silver. I do have a Delicata silver. Yeah, I mean, you can see it a little bit. Not a lot, though. I think I'm going to go ahead and get my silver. Okay, so here I've got the Delicata silvery shimmer. And I'm just going to ink right over the other one. And put that down. There we go. I think that did a little bit better for sure. See if you can see it. I just wanted a little smattering of snowflakes, so I think that looks very good. Yeah. Trying to decide if I need one right there. Right there. Yikes. I already messed that up. Oh well. Okay, get all these off. And I will clean those up. And of course, see, I forgot to use it. Just push down on it. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. All right, now I went ahead and cleaned off all my stamps, my snowflake stamps here, and I've loaded in here the stamp Snow Much Thanks. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep that, and I decided I would go ahead, oh, that was good. I'm sure you guys have done that too. Spilled all the embellishments. Oh well. Okay. I'm sure I'll be finding them tomorrow somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it with the Delicata silver pigment ink here. Try to get that one. I think I'll do it one more time just to try to get a real good impression. I think it looks pretty good, but just to make sure here. I don't want it to smear, which can happen with the pigment inks. There we go. I did it again. Oh my God, is that crazy? That's what I get for trying to put them out ahead of time. Oh, there's one right there. Jeez. All right. I'm going to go ahead and heat set that and pick up all my pearls, and I'll be right back. Okay, so got it cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and, I heat set that, and I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on it and put that onto my card here. Of course, the heat, when I was trying to heat set the stamping, warps just a little bit. I tried to be careful. Now, this is cut down to size, so no border here. Just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Try and get that to fit nicely on the front. There we go. Okay, now we're just going to add all these gems that I just kind of threw everywhere. And these are some silver and a white half pearls. And I am not sure where they're from. A lot of my pearls and everything, or a lot of my gems, my embellishments, I've put into a container without the name on it. So a lot of them are kind of unlabeled. So unfortunately, I don't have whoever made these, but you could use any that you have in your stash or any maker. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to use pearls. Use whatever you got to embellish. There we go. And I'll put a couple of those. So I put the pearl ones there in the middle, and I think I'll put a couple of these smaller ones just scattered around. And sometimes I like to lay them out ahead of time just to kind of see where I'd like to put them. There's some really small ones there. See that one? Here's another real small one. I'll do that. Just a touch of glue. Sometimes I seem to get quite a bit. This is a jewel picker that I got when I ordered, actually, this glue, this art glitter glue off of Amazon. This came with it. I looked a while back because somebody had asked me about it, and it was no longer available. It didn't come in a set anymore. But I believe this looks very similar to one that Studio Katia sells, and I do believe that you can get replaceable tips. So I like it a lot. Very sticky, works well. So, all right. So again, another simple card, nice and easy, just some stamping there and some gems, and voila, there we go. A thank you card. All right, for card number 4, I wanted to try to do a slimline card. I don't make a lot of slimline cards, even though I do like the way they look. I want to do more of them, but I decided what I would try to do is to use this long stamp here along the border of my slimline. Well, that turned out great. I stamped it in the Delicata Silver, which is a pigment ink, and then I heat embossed it with some clear embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, the icicle embossing powder, excuse me. And that turned out fine, you can see. Then I decided, well, I want to go ahead and put my cinnamon there and, try to use a little bit some blue pigment colors and also do some heat embossing. Well, it was going well until my paper shifted, and as you can see, it's stamped off. So yeah, that got ruined, but I do not want to waste this. So my plan will be to go ahead and do a little fine coloring here, and then I will cut it out. So I am going to use these new to me Metallic Accents semi watercolors. They're from Art Philosophy by Prima. I got them at Hobby Lobby. and I haven't used them yet, so I'm looking forward to using them and see how they look. This is not watercolor paper. I do not plan on putting a ton of water down. I plan on just kind of lightly using them. So I'm going to use the brush that came in there, just see how that is. I'm going to add some water to directly to the paints. And I, of course, gravitate to blue. And I'm going to go ahead and I need to get myself a paper towel. So let's see how this, and a lot of times metallic colors don't show up as well on just white cardstock. So I'm interested to definitely see how this looks. Now here you can see I put there's a lot of water down there. You can kind of see that. But I like the pigment in it. That's got a very pretty pigment. Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know about you, but I like that a lot. So I'm just going to keep coloring here. I'll speed the process up, and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm finished. Okay, so I'm back and this is dried. Now, what I didn't show on camera is that I also put some metallic gray in between the snowflakes, and I'm not sure how I like that. It's not horrible, but it didn't really come out the way I wanted. After it dried, I cut it, and it is not long enough for my slimline card that I have pre-made, which is 8.5 by 3.5. But I do not want to, again, lose this. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down, and then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than the card base that I had made, which again was 8.5 by 3.5. Now, I know slimline cards can come in many different sizes. I've seen a lot of people do 4 by 9, 8.5 by 3.5. I have to be honest and tell you I'm not exactly sure what the correct measurement is, or if there's a standard. I'm not sure. I think you could do, of course, whatever you want. And the good thing is that these all fit in a standard business envelope. So. All right, so there we go. I don't like how this, so I'm going to cut this off. So let me go ahead and pull this in here. And let's see if I can get a good cut. Not real happy that I still have that. I should have done a little bit more, so I'll go a little bit further. And there we go. Sorry, I know that was probably a little bit loud. That makes it a little bit more even there. I'll just toss that. And so pretty much, let's see, that comes out to be just about 7 3/4. So 3.5 by 7 3/4. So my own little size there. Now, I had also cut out some of the Eliza snowflakes that came in the kit, and I cut them all out of different colors of metallic cardstock from Tim Holtz. Again, this cardstock is cardstock you can buy in a big pack, usually at your local craft store. I bought mine at Joann's, and it lasts forever. So I've cut out 3 different colors, kind of the colors that go along with the watercolors that I used here. And I'm going to go ahead and get these stuck down. And this time, oops, I have a piece in there. And by the way, I know I had said earlier in this that I had trouble cutting this die. No, I'm sorry. It was a different video that I said I had trouble cutting an intricate die using this metallic cardstock. Well, you have to always remember to use that metallic shim. That's what I kind of remember. So anyway, yes, I usually use glue. Should I be? Yes, probably. I'm getting more of this tape runner on my mat here than I should, but I'm just going to kind of lay that down right there. I'll go ahead and do the second one. I know I don't use a lot of tape runner, but I do like tape runner. I do think it is a good adhesive. It just seems to run out quickly, and it's not real cheap. Okay, so this one I'll just kind of put, I'm not going to put this down exactly yet. I'm going to kind of see where my blue one goes. Go ahead and, my cat's fighting. Hope you didn't hear all that craziness. All right. Yes, I'm making a mess. Okay. I'll put that right there. And then this one, I think I might just put over a little bit more, maybe like that. Okay, so got all three stuck down now. I'll have to clean that up later. And off camera, I went ahead and stamped up this sentiment again. This is my favorite one. It says, "Hello, friend," and simply because it's just very versatile. So it says, "Hello, friend." I used my VersaFine Clear Black Nocturne ink. This is a pigment ink to stamp it, and then I heat embossed it with clear embossing powder, the same Brutus Monroe embossing powder that I used previously. So my thought is I'm going to go ahead and put it right in the center. Okay, so let's just put that right there. And I had, oops, put some foam adhesive. And usually, like I say, I put glue on there. I know that I'm going to have to pin it, and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm just going to stick that on there. This one is hanging out just a touch, so I'm going to push that under. Okay, there we go. And now what I think we need is some bling. Okay, so I pulled out some Pretty Pink Posh rhinestones. This is the Berry Splash mix. And I'm just going to kind of put these around. I'm definitely going to put some in the center. Oops, look at that stamp. Put it in the center and then go around. So I'll go ahead and speed this up while I do this. All right, sorry about that. My video cut out because I got a phone call. But I went ahead and finished all the jewels. So you can see there's jewels all over every one of the snowflakes. And then I just put some around, scattered around. So I think this turned out okay. This isn't my favorite card. I'm not sure I liked how I did this. But again, it turned out okay. I'm happy with it. I would still give it out. But that's what card making is about. Just kind of, you know, trial and error and see what works, see what doesn't. So anyway, that's card number 4. Okay, so moving on to card number 5, I wanted to use the front of the paper pad here. And what it does is it kind of gives you Actually, it goes like this. Let's see. Like this and like this. So I cut it apart, and I'm going to use that as just one strip in the middle here. And this is just a piece of white paper that I've cut down to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that on here. And then right in the center, and of course then I'll trim it up. So trying to use my grid mat here to get everything lined up. I'll go with right there. All right. And find my scissors here. Go ahead and cut that apart. Not apart, but cut the edges off there. And now I'm going to just kind of line this with some strips of cardstock. I'm going to use some of this metallic cardstock that came in the kit. Okay, so I've cut it down to 2 little strips here, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere those. I could put just 1/8 inch things on this. I think I'll do that. Actually, I'm going to put it on here, the place that I want it, and then I will, well, okay, so now what I want to do is I want to dry emboss the die that came, the snowflake die that came in the set. So the way I do this, I'm going to do this is I'm going to take it to my die cutting machine, and instead of using the plates for cutting, I'm going to use the plates for embossing, but use one of those soft brown mats so that it emboss. I cannot bring my my Big Shot over here to where I film, so I'm going to go do this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I dry embossed that, and I don't know if you can see that, just the little raised impressions here of the die. Didn't actually cut through, just, like I say, embossed it on there. And I noticed here, this is crooked. Yeah, and I tried to pull it up, and it tore. So I'm gonna go with this, even though I know it's crooked. So what we need now is a sentiment, and what I'm going to do is just bring in my mini Misty here, and go ahead and decide on which one we want. There we go, that looks wonderful. All right, so I went ahead and cut down a piece of the sea glass cardstock to back this with. This is 5 and, what is this? 5 and, I don't remember, 5, a little bit over 5 1/4, and 4, and I guess it would be 1/8. And so I guess that would be, I'm so bad with measurements, I'm so sorry. That would be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get that. Okay. Finally got it working again here. Now, I am out of my pre-made white card bases. I need to make some more. So I just pulled this green card base from my stash. This is actually a pack that I got at Joann's. It's Basil Premium Paper, A2 size cards, and it comes with these different color, greenish, bluish cards. and envelopes. So I went ahead and used the darkest one, and I know that's not in the kit, but it works for me. And so I'm going to go ahead and mount that on there. Okay. I think something I could do to try to keep that from looking so obvious would be to put something there, whether it's a I don't know. I guess I'll go with the gems and see if that'll work. But I've got some gems here, and what I'm going to do is put them on the insides of this embossed snowflake. And this is just a greenish color of snowflake from my stash. I believe these are probably from Pretty Pink Posh. I got a bunch of different colored ones from there. And as you can see, they're variable sizes. I'm kind of picking up some that are a little bit smaller than others. For that card, pretty simple. Like I say, I'm a little upset with myself for that being crooked. However, if I would have probably not used double-sided adhesive, that wouldn't be crooked. But I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to stick with that. And that is card number 5. All right, so here is a rundown of all the 5 cards that I made today. Varying from very simple to a little bit more complex. Could be real nice if I worked on it a little bit harder. All of them have a little bit of bling on there, so and there's my slim line. So that is my 5 cards using the Simon Says Stamp 2021 January Card Kit of the Month. I do hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up. It does help my channel to circulate the video and to have more people view it. And I do hope that you come back and watch more videos from Georgia Paper Crafts. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.